Hello guys, welcome to Sissygram Genderbender Stories on YouTube. Today, I am bringing you a brand new genderbender story. If you like my voice, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Now, let's start the story. I was daydreaming as I stood at the urinal in my workplace's bathroom, my thoughts lingering on the previous day when I wore a full set of women's clothing under my business suit. IT was a secret I managed to keep carefully chosen so that my pants were long enough to conceal my ankles. Even my secretary, who was always perceptive, hadn't caught on. Suddenly, a deep, authoritative voice came from behind me, asking, "Do you really want to see how far you can go without them knowing?" I nearly jumped out of my skin. I was certain I had entered the bathroom alone, and I hadn't heard anyone else come in. I froze. My stream of thought interrupted as if I had been caught in a compromising position. I quickly zipped up and spun around to gather my thoughts. "What did you say?" I gasped, confused. The voice continued, "You were talking about your little charade from yesterday. Wondering how feminine you could become without anyone noticing, weren't you?" The person behind me looked like they had stepped out of a scene from an Arabian genie movie, except he was dressed in a sharp, stylish business suit. His carefully groomed beard and knowing smile made me wonder how he knew my thoughts. He explained, without waiting for my question, that he had the ability to sense what others were thinking. He further revealed that he was born with extraordinary powers, eternal life, the ability to slip in and out of different realities, and the power to alter things according to his desires. And, of course, he could tell a good joke. But there was a catch. He was easily bored, constantly searching for something new and intriguing to make his existence more interesting. The idea of how feminine I could become without others noticing kept swirling in my mind. IT was an experiment I'd been subconsciously intrigued by, especially since I enjoyed how women's clothes felt on my body. I liked the thrill of wearing women's underwear to work, and though I occasionally wished for a more feminine body, there were certain things I could never do, such as engaging in stereotypical female activities like excessive shopping or endless small talk. Then the stranger offered me a bet that he claimed would both entertain him and grant me what I desired. The catch was that after the bet, I wouldn't remember him. Only the bet itself would stay with me. His rule was simple. Each time I went to the bathroom, I'd become more feminine. Before each bathroom visit, I could either think of something to make myself more feminine, or he would make the decision for me. He went on to explain that if I told myself, "Not tonight, dear, I have a headache," before using the bathroom, nothing would change. At the end of the month, I would have two choices: $100,000 or the beautiful reflection in the mirror that now stared back at me. The reflection was strikingly familiar, yet distinctly more feminine, with a chest, hips, and waist that I would have envied if they were someone else. However, he also offered a second choice. If I chose not to become fully feminine by the end of the month, I could receive a $20,000 prize. IT seemed like a win-win situation. I could become nearly entirely feminine, yet still have the option to decide between staying feminine or going back to my original self. Feeling overwhelmed, I asked, "When do I need to decide?" "Don't worry," the stranger replied. "Someone will need to use the bathroom this afternoon. You have until then to think it over." I accepted the offer, and he disappeared. Almost immediately, my boss entered the bathroom, commenting on my apparent struggle at the urinal. He made a joke about how rank had its privileges as he walked to the clean urinal, leaving me to step over a small puddle on the floor. I thought I had finished with the awkwardness, but as the day went on, I realized my body was beginning to change. I received a strange mental message. My waist was too big, and my hips were too narrow. The changes continued as I noticed my waist had shrunk, and my hips had expanded. Later, in my office, my boss called me to ask for my opinion on the Preston report. I was distracted by my body's new curves and tried to ignore it, but I felt uneasy about the unexpected changes. That evening, I measured myself. My waist was smaller, and my chest was flatter than usual. It was clear the bet had started taking effect. The next morning, my appearance became even more altered. My hair, once just long enough to reach my shirt collar, had grown several inches longer, thicker, and fuller. My body hair had diminished as well, leaving me with softer skin. I spent the day trying to make sense of the changes, but nothing seemed to add up. My boss was angry with me for not focusing on the Preston report, but no one mentioned my hair, which I had tried to tie into a ponytail. By Friday, I realized that the end of the month was approaching. I needed to figure out how to secure the $50,000 prize without fully transforming into a woman. That evening, I chose to wear my favorite female outfit, wanting to see how the changes felt with a more feminine wardrobe. Looking in the mirror, I realized how good the dress looked on me, and I decided I wanted a larger chest and smoother skin. I spent the evening thinking about how to stop the changes. Despite my best efforts, when I went to the bathroom, my waist shrank further to 25 inches, and my body became undeniably feminine. Although my face still showed some masculine features, my new body felt right, and I was beginning to accept it. The next morning, I woke up to a phone call from my boss, who asked me to come into the office. I was reluctant but managed to lie about being sick. After some convincing, I agreed to meet him. When he arrived, he didn't mention my appearance, but instead asked for my help with work. After we resolved the issue, he offered to take me out for lunch, casually saying that he didn't mind that I dressed as a woman. To my surprise, my boss revealed that he and the staff had known about my secret for months, ever since the day I accidentally revealed my slip in the office. He reassured me that they didn't want to embarrass me, as they respected me for who I was. Later that evening, I couldn't help but laugh at how quickly my life had changed. As I walked downstairs, I was met with a new, confident version of myself, complete with long, beautiful hair, a tight-fitting outfit, and a transformed body. As I faced my boss, I teased, "Do you think the others will keep their vow?" and smiled with my newfound confidence. This is where the story ends. I spend hours of effort creating these kinds of stories, so if you're new to this channel, please hit the like button and subscribe my Sissygram Genderbender Stories YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to comment on what you would do if you were in his place. I'm eagerly waiting for your comments, and I personally read all of them. Okay, guys, thanks for joining. And I'll see you in the next story in the next video. Take care and bye.